Yeah, you know what it is. Ankle lock. Believe you have Cody take a L before Saturday night main event. I don't think so, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. WWE is known to do anything sometimes, and I think if you're trying to really throw off the fans, oh here we go with the German. Oh, just one. Um, if you're trying to really throw them off, you know what I mean. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta push that up. You know, there you go. Ooh, that 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 crossroads down there stood my man's up. Cody gets a win. Hey, you could have did this match. I mean, I like the story you're pushing. He's injured. Last time it was Cody being hurt in some way, and Kevin Owens not being able to take advantage, not wanting to take advantage of it. That was the thing they was doing last time. Remember, he like didn't want to take advantage of the knees. He didn't want to be a bad guy. Oh, KO done came in the room. Oh yeah, stomp on that thing. Cody's fighting back. Here comes some refs. Ah, yeah. Say I don't think this is Saturday Night Main Event is next week, so we got time to get some more build on this, which is good because right now they're fighting. They're and they got to be split by official. Cody charges in. Oh, you know, there you go. We still brawling, baby. But you know, how hyped am I for this for Saturday Night Main Event? I think we could have got this at Survivor Series. I think we could have got a Survivor Series. Cool. They're still brawling on. They're still dragging. Hands all in my man face. He ain't even wash him. It's all good though. I ain't gonna hold you. Felt like SmackDown was very underwhelming. I'm not gonna say very underwhelming, but I wasn't impressed. Chris Wiley, salute, 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 salute. I wasn't impressed for a lot of reasons. One, Raw was off the hook. Raw was so crazy that you know what I mean. Like I wanted all shows to click on all cylinders for the first one coming out of War Games. Raw set a tone. NXT, you know, they came with it. They came with it. And SmackDown had some highlights. It had some little highlights. But we gotta say this, you know. Hello! You know, I'm always keep that energy. You remember when Jey Uso won the belt and then Braun Breaker won it back? So tag team champions of the world, that was my highlight. And it was still not a highlight because of I was excited to see the Street Profits go against um Motor City Machine Guns. That did not happen, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody took the Street Profits out in the back. Now, does it make for an exciting storyline for DIY? Yeah, it does. Did it personally fulfill me for what I wanted to see happen tonight? Hell no. Hell no. I like the twist, Johnny Gargano and all that. Yo, Vinny had a high. Vinny had a 7 out of 10. Chris Wiley 4 or 5 out of 10. I'm more with Chris. I'm like 5.5, 6. I can't really go higher than 6. We had a great Bianca match with Piper Niven. Shout out to them. Let me salute the high spots. It didn't Raw is to blame a little bit. I mean, you came out of War Games firing on all cylinders, and it's like, but yeah, that was my highlight was seeing new tag team champions, but also it kind of like, mm, I wanted to see Street Profits. Can we do it? It's time. They've been having them lose strongly going back to the tag tournament, going back to when the Bloodline won it with Jacob Fatu. Remember they did the gauntlet match and Street Profits like went all the way through to the end to get to the Bloodline. The Bloodline just had to beat them, being fresh, and the Blood and Street Profits had to beat multiple tag teams. So I want to see this finally eclipse, and let's get to that. Right, because we got a lot of talent with Dawkins and Ford. Like that's a lot. Be Fab as a manager, and it just feels like you're just stalling them out. So either break them up or do something with them. And this week getting attacked, I'd have rather seen them try to come back and interfere in a match, and maybe that's how the street DIY would have took that more so than I don't know. It's just a lot of little things, you know what I'm saying? A lot of little things. What's good? What's good? What you had it at? What you had
Uh,
SmackDown at?
um, I got about a 7.
7? You higher than me, man. I said 5, 5, 5.5, 6, somewhere in that range right there. I was just kind of Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable. I would be okay with this.
SmackDown used to feel exciting. It just doesn't have that feel anymore.
Yeah, it just
Even with
I thought the
everything that happened tonight, it was some good stuff happened tonight. It's just it doesn't feel like
you had an incredible women's match, Piper Niven and Bianca. Like again, I already saluted. I clapped it up for him.
we got to see more of the Shinsuke character develop with the leaking fluid out the mouth paws and him being just this evil heel,
I
DIY.
like
But
how the bloodline didn't attack him. Like it was like it might happen. Heel
yeah, then
versus
like with the
heel.
DIY thing, even Chad Gable after the year he's had getting in there with Cody, these are like big things, right? It just doesn't
Don't have it on.
feel something about the energy. The energy is it just don't feel big. Pause. That's
You know,
two already. It
you,
only
you,
been on 30 seconds. I only got two
you,
balls.
you, you know what I think it is too, right? You lack superstar power. People say Cody Rhodes, but if you're putting Cody Rhodes in there against a rematch for Kevin Owens, where nobody feels Kevin Owens gonna walk into the Rumble with that belt going down the road to WrestleMania, where we don't know it's gonna be Cody and The Rock and Roman, Cody and Roman and three. Like we already kind of been down. Like it's too late. That man's wearing that belt into the next PLE at minimum.
But even if you just say the star power was not there, like say we had a great women's match, it should have felt bigger or different. It's the DIY moment coming off Motor City Machine. Even Motor City Machine Guns just being there doesn't feel like anything. They haven't had like a crazy vignette package. They've not told you who these guys were. They just popped up, been there for a month, won titles, and lost them. It just doesn't feel like they're putting the stock into making this thing feel as big and special as it is.
Yeah, Franklin Thames, man, I gotta agree. It is.
Oh, my boy froze up. He's out of here, people. He is out of here. Maybe I'm froze. I don't know. Who knows what's happening? There
You're
you go.
doing a GoFundMe for. There we go. GoFundMe for the internet. You know what I mean?
Hey, he's still on dial up. Somebody just called the house.
Yo, why Chris Wise? I thought it was my phone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My internet be tripping sometimes, but it is Cody. You follow suit. I compare Cody Rhodes' first title run to Shawn Michaels for two couple reasons. Back to back Royal Rumble winners. They went against the grain. The boyhood dream has come true for Shawn. And then it was the story is complete.
You
Right?
know
It's
what's
very
crazy
similar.
about Cody Rhodes? Every time they mention Stardust, it gets a pop.
Yeah, that's what we kind like, bro. You shouldn't even be mentioning Stardust. You shouldn't even. I wouldn't even bring that motherfucker up. So for you to say Stardust and Cody G, this is Stardust talking to Cody G or whatever, Shorty G. I wouldn't do. I Cody just he's over, but he's not a Seth Rollins. He's not a Drew McIntyre. He's not a CM Punk, and he's not a Roman Reigns.
So out of all those people are more over than your current champions. What you're telling me?
Yeah, and I
That's
could
bad.
probably name a few more
That's
that
bad
maybe not
business.
in T-shirt sales, but in aura. Like when they hit the camera, we pay attention.
You sound like me. You put them numbers aside. What your eyes tell you and how you feel as a fan, that's what matters. Now, when you get deeper into the numbers and analytics, I get that. But you know what you see. You know what you feel. It's like if you read a review on a restaurant. It might be a 5-star restaurant, but somebody didn't like the food. And they telling you they didn't like it. Just because it's 5-star don't mean you're gonna like it. It's just
Him him comparing himself to Chad Gable really put that in perspective for me tonight. Like, bro, you are Chad Gable. Chad Gable at one point probably was just as over as you were. Not as over, but like, prospectively, like where Chad Gable wasn't a card and how high he got was like it's like the Cody Rhodes thing. Except they're forcing you down our throat now. I your title run has had no significant challenges. No, at no time did someone go, I don't think Cody gonna do this one. Against who? Logan Paul? AJ Styles in the retirement thing? I quit like no, no. He went against Carmelo Hayes twice. He keeps rematching the same people. Carmelo Hayes twice, AJ Styles twice, Kevin Owens twice. Hey, guess what? That must mean Chad Gable's gonna spin the block in the next coming weeks.
and I can see if he even lost, and then okay, we gotta run it back. Trilogy, we gotta run it back. Rubber match. It's not that.
It's not that. It's not that. All the heels, all the big monsters and shit are on Raw.
Or
Braun Strowman.
after War
Imagine
Games, injury reserve. So
Braun Strowman came over and was like, I'm taking Cody out. Flipped Cody's car over when he was in it. You'd be like, oh shit, hey, Cody, yo, chill. Took Cody, just beat the brakes off of him. Cody wasn't around for 2 weeks, came back with a black eye and shit.
his Wi-Fi is pausing at the wildest times. Do you see the look on this guy's face right now? He looks nuts. My boy
And
is
just acting a
frozen
fool,
in
y'all.
time, like frozen
My
like Han
internet,
Solo.
my internet is trippy, trippy, trippy.
You got some bad weather down there?
Bro, that's what the worst part is. I got bad internets. This is what let me make sure I put the you know what I'm saying, boom. Tap in with me, y'all. We gonna have a little sip for Cody's title reign. Get the belt off him. Get the belt off him. It's just they used to say transitional champions. Cody's what I'm gonna refer to as a
Bro,
storyline
I
champion.
get a lot of flack for the things I say. I don't always agree with it. I don't always like it, but it's just the fan in me. And eventually, y'all come around. So all I got to say is, welcome to the dark side.
I can't stand he's not even bad. It's just your run has been bad, bro. How did they not see this? You're a million viewers down from last year's time.
They see it. They have to see it. Now, what do they do with what they see? I don't know, but they see it. Everything is run off data and numbers these days. They see it. It's just you cannot take that title off him now because it diminishes everything. You cannot do it.
Yo, there is no true payoff for the talent that really put in the work in the 80s. It's all over again. I don't want to agree with that. I think in the 80s, Hulk Hogan was selling. Hulk Hogan was the needle mover. He's the original Roman Reigns. All the way through 89 when he's taking on Zeus in a steel cage with Macho Man and Zeus taking on, I think it was Brutus Beefcake was his partner. That's like 89. That's peak. That's peak. He breaks into the 90s going against the Ultimate Warrior, Sergeant Slaughter and Desert Storm, and they're about to
What was the
kill Sergeant
comment?
Slaughter. Franklin Thames, he says there is no true payoff for the talent that really put in the work. It's all the '80s. It's the '80s all over again. Cody is Hulk Hogan. The KO is Randy Savage. And I disagree. The '80s had payoffs. That Intercontinental Championship was their mid card, and look what happened to those mid card guys. They all went to world title elevation.
I think what
They
they're saying
all,
is that that's the roadblock. You can't get past the Cody Rhodes. I think that's what they're saying. But even the mid
maybe it
card now,
is.
they're just getting to the point where they're trying to elevate those things and make those things really work. So not work on them, but put more stock in them to where it's something people want.
I think Shinsuke was a good move. I noticed it today when Shinsuke came to cut a promo. LA Knight cut a very. He just does remind me of The Rock, like a fake, a bootleg, a great value. Like, yo, you want The Rock, can't get The Rock. We can get LA Knight. All right, cool. That's a great value version. He's good for what he do though. I ain't gonna lie. He's very funny to listen to. But then here comes fucking Andrade. I got a bone to pick. Like, yo, how long is this guy gonna be in this title picture, man?
Andrade has gotten a lot of screen time this year.
Jesus Christ. Money in the Bank, him and Carmelo stole the show, and they started that feud with him and Carmelo way back in Money in the Bank. And then it went to like they went to like a best of 7, and they integrated LA Knight for that for the US title. And you get this motherfucker out of here. Like, God, I like Andrade, but goddamn, give him a reset. All
Could
right, you
it
got to go back.
be some backstage politics with some of this stuff to whereas maybe some people don't want to work with other people?
Maybe because it feels like SmackDown. You said this. You see the same faces over and over, and it's like, my guy, you saw Apollo Cruz tonight. Guess what? That's what they used him for, to get beat up by the bloodline. Like, where you been, bro? You looking for your man's Baron Corbin? He got
Grayson
released.
Waller and Austin Theory have been abducted by aliens. And that was two. Grayson Waller had a whole show.
Yeah. Where did they go? Where did
Like,
they go?
what are they doing? Like, it's crazy how much like it's like you only see the same people, so you only think certain things immediately. But there's a lot of people on the roster. You just out of sight, out of mind, right? And that's what it
Yeah, that's
is.
true. And Franklin, I hear you on that. They did boo Hogan at that 92 Rumble. Sid seemed to always get a pop in the weirdest times. Like when they pushed him in the heel, he'll get a little pop, little pop. And then when he went for the world title, like against Shawn Michaels in Madison Square Garden, they fucking you would have thought he was Shawn Michaels and Shawn Michaels was Sid. Yeah, so yeah, I do see your point in that. Um, I'm about to Google the SmackDown roster.
I'm looking at
Carme-
it now. I'm looking at it now.
oh,
And
okay.
actually, it's not as deep when you think about it because I'm looking at the bloodline. That's like half of it. you know, you got the rest in tags. It's AJ Styles, Andrade,
Injured.
Angel. These are people who could be singles. Alex Shelley's in the Motor City Machine Guns. Dawkins, Motor City Machine Guns. Apollo Crews, Austin Theory, Berto, who's LWO, Carmelo, who's a single, Chris Sabin, other half of Motor City Machine Guns. Then it's Cody Rhodes, uh, Prince, but he's part of Pretty Deadly. Vinci, who I don't know why they rung him back because it's been like an absolute disaster what they've done with Giovanni Vinci since leaving Imperium. Grayson Waller.
No.
Then you have Jacob Fatu, who's tied to the
Okay.
bloodline.
Bloodline.
Jimmy Uso, who's tied to the bloodline. Gargano, who's in a tag. Carl Anderson, who's in a tag. Kevin Owens. Kit Wilson, who's in a tag. LA Knight. They have Logan Paul on here. Luke Gallows, who's in a tag. Montez Ford,
Gallows been in NXT working.
who's in a tag. Randy Orton, The Rock, Roman Reigns, Santos Escobar, Solo Sokoa, Tama Tonga, Tommaso Ciampa, Tongaloa. That's really not a lot of people. Singles.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. That shit sound like the fucking G League. if you read the Raw roster, you go, God damn. And then this year they made Bronson Reed, so you added to your superstars because he went from star to the superstar category. Once he
On
main
Raw, you
evented,
got Akam, who's Authors of Pain, Tozawa, Bronson Reed, Bo Dallas, Braun Strowman, Brian Breaker, Brutus Creed, Carlito, Chad Gable, CM Punk, Cruz Del Toro, Damian Priest, Dominic, Dragon Lee, Drew McIntyre, Eric Rowan, Eric from the War Raiders, Finn Balor, Gunther, Dragunov, Ivar, JD McDonough, Jay Uso, Jaquin Wild, Joe Gacy, Julius Creed, Karrion Cross, Kofi Kingston, Kaiser, The Miz, Otis, R-Truth, Pete Dunne, Rey Mysterio, Razar, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Sheamus, Tyler Bate, Xavier Woods. That's Raw. It's a lot of people, a lot more, a different kind of class of talent, actually.
that's what I'm saying. They got monsters, they got heels, they got speedy guys, they got wrestlers, like technical. They have a vast majority, and it's still built like Raw is the flagship.
But
Raw is always going to be the
it
flagship.
wasn't that. Remember, we were tuning in for SmackDown a few months ago because SmackDown was just killing it. At some point,
They had the bloodline storyline.
this thing flipped. It flipped crazy.
I think it flipped as the bloodline story ended, and then Drew and CM Punk put on. At the same time of that, Seth Rollins started doing some of his top notch work. Damian Priest got into like a
Yeah,
nice little zone.
The Judgment Day carried a lot of this for a big part of the year. People don't realize that, but this Judgment Day thing has been going on for a while because it started, then Liv infiltrated, then the whole Liv Rhea thing and Liv Dom. Like this was a ongoing thing.
Mm.
But yeah, that's just an interesting
Yeah, it's a dynamic that they gotta. Now they did talk about a transfer window that's going to be happening. And they said more on that tonight. They didn't really break into that too much. And they said straight up, superstars are going to be going to Raw as the NXT thing happens.
but it's already
And basically,
happening. It's been happening all year.
yeah, but not to the level that in the next few weeks, because the shift to Netflix is January 6th. So we got about a month, about 1 month. They said Carmelo Hayes, they got something special for him because he was talking about his title. I really believe they're gonna bring Trick Williams up to the main roster, and that's where you're gonna see a lot of NXT coming up, and a lot of those females. I hope they send SmackDown because SmackDown needs help.
You
They
think
need
Trick
some help.
Williams ready for the main roster?
No,
I don't
I
think so
don't.
either.
I don't. I think he can survive on it. They need a lot of help on that roster.
Trick Williams would be the
But
perfect person to enter a Royal Rumble, eliminate a few people so they can show him, and then him and Carmelo, then eliminate Carmelo or something happen with them.
that
You
would be
can't.
perfect. They
That's how
need
you.
that.
It's a great introduction of a Trick Williams. That would have been a spot I would have put Lash Legend in, but they showcased her very well on the main roster. So yeah, even because this Royal Rumble would be a good time where you can showcase like an Obafemi. Those people who the
Cause he been.
WWE universe who may not know, but that's be a good spot to introduce some of these people.
Yeah, yeah, and I 100% agree. I think especially on the
NXT
women's side.
versus WWE main roster War Games match would have probably actually cooked.
Yeah, yeah,
We
definitely.
tired of watching y'all every week. We want to go to war so we can show y'all how we do it on a black and silver brand. I got my 5, you bring your 5, and then we they could have had a whole nother War Games match, and it would have probably really cooked.
And Axiom, if they could have, and I think that's just you really want to boost NXT to break 1 million every week or come closer to it than you do. Start featuring some of them more so. Start talking about it tomorrow. NXT, it's gonna be like you know what I'm saying. Have that same excitement like it's SmackDown Like,
I
it's the
don't
third
know
brand.
how that works or if they even interested in splitting the viewership like that. But why wouldn't you promote NXT?
Feels like
Again,
they
there's
like
titles that they don't even promote. The Speed title, I don't even know who. It's kind of like when 205 Live was a thing. 205 Live got talked about, but it wasn't really heavily promoted.
right. Yeah, I don't know.
And 205 Live was not bad.
No, it just I almost feel like they should go back to it, not a show though, but a division.
The thing about
205 Live.
205 Live was it was taped, I think, after, like, wherever the show was, it was taped after or before the crowds didn't really, crowd makes a event. So if you have a crowd that's not there, or a crowd that's tired, that's not really going to translate well over TV. But
I would like to see him try some new stuff, bro. 205 Live, 10, the standard match time is 15 minutes. Turn it to 10. Make it to where if you get 4 near falls, it's an automatic win. So if you get your shoulders down and they get 2 pins, 1, 2, that's a near fall. That's a 1 near fall. Like, you got three more. Like a cat has 9 lives, you get
that's
4.
his actual
After that,
point
hey, the
system.
match is
How
over.
you doing Greco-Roman wrestling? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Try something. Give us something new, a match type. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it's like, all right, let's get rid of it. But
But they tried it with the Heritage Cup, and Heritage Cup has, it was a thing, but a lot of people who watching and why even watching this have no idea what the Heritage Cup is,
that's some good shit.
because
Shout out
that's
to you,
unique
38 Packs
in
in
NXT, and
the
that's
chat.
something they could speak on and say, you Heritage Cup only on NXT. NXT has things that they could brand only on NXT, but they're not. Our new North American
Underground
champions.
matches.
Yeah, underground match, North American champions. Those are things that are specific and unique to NXT, which I keep saying is not really a developmental brand, because why would you have this many championship titles on your developmental brand?
And they're good. They're definitely good. Um, I'd love to see it. I do. I really do. And what do you think? All
Don't we
right,
have a
the
pay-per-view
women's.
tomorrow?
No, it's next weekend.
NXT.
No. Oh shit. Irons. God damn.
That's tomorrow, right?
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. We'll see how it goes. The Iron
Um,
Survivor shit is tomorrow. The male and the female. It's deadline.
yeah, yeah.
Ain't that a bitch? I forgot. I thought it was next weekend, but I'm like, no, that's
Denver
Saturday night main
Stellar from
event.
Minneapolis, Minnesota, where Brock Lesnar lives.
What time is it at?
I have no idea, brother. Don't give me the line. It says 7 p.m. That's all it says.
7 p.m. might work for me.
No, no, no.
That
I
might
mean
work.
December 7th is all it said. Look at me lying. I
What
just
up, Paxman? Paxman. I just seen you jump from Instagram over here. Don't think I don't be watching. I be watching.
NXT, because that's what Jada Parker match is tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir. On Underground, that's gonna be tremendous.
6 p.m. Eastern
Oh,
time. This 1 hour pre-show card begins at 7 p.m.
well, I have a question. I definitely have a question. So we got back-to-back PLEs. It's gonna be fire. Women's United States Tournament. Tiffany Stratton advances. Right now, it's the quarterfinals. We have Bailey, who will have to take
I've
on
never
Chelsea
seen a
Green.
tournament stretch this long. They getting 8 miles out of this Honda Civic.
And then Miss Shin will take on Tiffany Stratton. And the winners of those two matches will face each other at Saturday Night Main Event. I wish the King of the Ring went back to this format and did it in one night. I don't.
They started doing that King of the Ring. They would just take like a whole episode of Raw or something, but it's weird.
At
It's a
one, it's
lot
one
they
night.
don't do. Like, for even talking about Survivor Series War Games, we haven't had a traditional Survivor Series match. I couldn't tell you the last one.
Yeah, I was talking about Survivor Series like a
And you could
traditional
still
match
have
going
done
into
a
this.
Survivor Series match while still doing War Games. because it's
Yes.
not the same match.
No. And it brings the variety. They only did 5 matches, bro.
You could have had an NXT main roster Survivor Series match, which probably would have been even better.
That would
But
have been fire.
so yeah, we got deadline tomorrow. That's gonna be
I'm
interesting.
not even sure about all that because you got Ridge Holland will take on Trick Williams, the men's Iron Survivor. I can't remember everybody who's in it. Ethan Page, JBR Evans. I'm sorry, y'all me on it. That's so rude. Um, I just remember the women's. I remember all the women contenders. Uh, it's gonna be fire. And then you
You
got the underground match. So you got 2 Iron Survivor matches, men, women. And I don't know. I think you got some other matches too.
Wesley, Javion Evans, Nathan Frazier, Ethan Page, Eddie Thorpe.
Remember Eddie Thorpe got hurt.
Lola Vice versus
So
Jada Parker. Then there's Nathan Frazier Axon versus No Quarter Catch Crew.
mhm.
And there's Trick Williams versus Ridge Holland. And of course, we always do it for the ladies. Soul Ruka, Stephanie Vacure, Zaria, Julia, and Ren Sinclair. That's deadline tomorrow.
Yes, sir. But I mean, we'll see what happens. That looks pretty good. But who do we expect? We got 4 ladies left in this United States Championship match. We got Bailey. She'll take on next week Chelsea Green. Then you have Mission taking on Tiffany Stratton. So those are the 4.
You know who my girl is.
Hmm. Got me yawning.
You
Crazy.
know who my girl is.
You've always been a proponent for Chelsea Green.
Always. Chelsea Green.
I can't really get that in there.
I don't see Tiffany Stratton winning and still having a briefcase.
You think it would be not wise to do that? They could. They really want to throw people up. My pick is Michelle. She's young. She's been up and down the
I
road.
don't see
If you don't do
Bailey
her,
doing
Chelsea
it,
Green works.
but I think that may give it a little prestige, actually. Bailey. Because she has like she's the most accomplished.
But you know what I hate? And this is what I hate when they do with the men. When you can't win the world title, they just bring you back to the Intercontinental or the mid tier
Well,
titles.
Bailey won the
And
world
then,
title.
but I feel like between Michelle and Chelsea Green, I think one
Chelsea
of them
Green. You gotta say it that way.
because Tiffany Stratton got a Money in the Bank ready, still popping, and we've seen Bailey. Bailey's world champion this year, so she becomes the first U.S. champion. And it's like, well, now all those women get stepped on because she's gonna go
Bailey's
back on
title
against
run,
Nia.
this was not a good year for title runs. The best title run was probably Gunther's Intercontinental run.
Yes, yes.
Like the champions didn't really feel like champions this year. It didn't feel big.
I,
Damian
I,
Priest winning the title was a big deal. It
it
should
was
have
a big deal.
been. I told you, even Jay Uso, though it was 28 days, I didn't feel like for somebody who's been in a tag their whole career to get their first solo singles title, it didn't feel big. Like there was no celebration. We've seen celebrations for bull crap in wrestling. They had a whole rock, this is your life thing. They have a bunch of, you know, Edge had a live sex celebration. Like we've seen lots of things celebrated. Jimmy Uso didn't really get the fanfare or the parade. It just didn't
Yeah.
feel like the champions being highlighted as champions was a big deal for the WWE this year.
Well, somebody said this. They said the biggest things for the WWE this year that were fought over were not championships. It was a necklace and a bracelet. Those are the 2 biggest storylines
And
this year. Was
Dominic
not
Mysterio,
and Dominic Mysterio. People fought over the love of Dominic. They
Dirty
fought over
D.
a Ula Fala, and they fought over a bracelet. And they went to war. And those were the best matches we got. The best storylines we got. Those 3 things, literally, were the best things we got. And it's cool because you're drawing eyes, and that's
That's
what you want
not
to do with the
cool
business. But at the same
because your
time,
champion is your champion. That was the gripe about Brock Lesnar. He got the title. We never see it. That was the gripe about Roman Reigns. The title, he doesn't defend it. It wasn't about the titles this year at all.
It wasn't at all. At all. That was disrespect. Tiffany already have a briefcase. Naomi needs to win it so bad. I don't want to see that. I want to see a non. So when you look at the history of those belts, especially the Intercontinental, those belts usually predicted who was going to be your next world champion down the road. I would like to see that for the women. Like, hey, this is where you come to kind of work those last minute kinks out. And if you can't cut it, or you can, but we don't like Razor Ramon never won a world title. Does anyone does that he's probably more famous and solidified than a lot of world title guys because he's more famous than Sergeant Slaughter.
The thing
Sergeant
about
Slaughter is
it
like a
is, Razor was going to be Razor no matter what you did. He didn't need the title to define him.
no,
This
he did. He was the first 4-time Intercontinental not a
I'm
world
talking about
title.
the big
Yeah,
title.
he didn't. Yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't need
he was going to
that.
be,
But
even if he wasn't, he was still going to be Razor Ramon.
he elevated him and Sean, and then like they elevated that Intercontinental title. Like it was already. I don't want to say they elevated because let me not act like Mr. Perfect, the British Bulldog. They headlined British Bulldog and Bret Hart headlined a SummerSlam with the IC belt on the line. You know what I'm saying, and put on one of the most classic matches you can have. Uh, Roddy Piper. Them guys held it down, bro. And
And you
I don't
name
want to see.
wrestlers who have the it factor. See, I think that's the problem with a lot of it now. That that it factor, a lot of talent is missing it across the board. Like Razor had it. Ravishing Rick Rude, like these people had like you titles or not, you're gonna look at your TV like what is happening here. Then some talents you look at like, yo, what's happening here? Like, why are you on the TV? Why are you getting a shot? These guys were, and it was a different time. It's just the it thing. Some people just have it, whether they have titles or not. They're gonna. That was my thing about Brian Breaker. I was like, he's gonna be in that weird space where whether he
Oh
wins or
yeah,
loses, people are gonna like him. So Randy
I kicked
Savage
your
didn't have
old
no
ass.
crazy huge title runs, but
You gonna hold you, man.
Macho Man
Tell-
is a generational talent.
Macho Man is Hulk Hogan's like every time Macho Man
You
won
could not
a
know
title.
wrestling and see somebody dressed up like Macho Man and know that they're the Macho Man. Some people just
Yeah,
transcend the position they're in.
Curvin. You say why you compare the old era to the new? Well, some things change and some things never change, right? What is the old adage? The more things change, the more they stay the same. When you try to do these short title runs, or you try to like when you try to take away the basic blueprint, you kind of mess yourself up. You know what I'm saying? And comparing the old with the new is always going to be key because again, we could watch guys go. Chris Jericho's a 10-time Intercontinental Champion. He trumps Ray. If you look at what the old people were doing, they were cutting great promo. The it factor. What made the it factor? They believed in their character. They added spice to their character. Razor Ramon was a white male. You really thought he was from Cuba.
That's one thing I really like when people talk about kayfabe. That made wrestling. That was part of the business, and you have to compare the old to the new. We don't have to compare talent. You can't because talent is talent. But yeah, you can look back at history and say, hey, this was this and this was that because it's still wrestling. At the end of the day, it's still wrestling.
The wrestling. Jake
And
the Snake.
wins matters. Titles matter, but for some people it just doesn't. It's not a lot of talent now where you put the title on and it makes or breaks stars these days. Again, we just said this year didn't seem like they even cared about the championships. The Ula Fala was more important. Dominic Mysterio was what made Rhea and Liv's thing work. The bracelet, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, that made it work. But that happened in the old days too. Where they took Jake the Snake. Are you crazy? earthquake, smashed it and made it a roll of tissue paper.
Bro, can you
Like,
imagine if a wrestler in today's era came out with a bag with a snake in it, real life, like, and put that shit,
when they took
put
the
your,
Undertaker's urn, that was a story. Like, there were things that happened still then, comparable to now. But it's just we see so much of it. It's
yeah.
and it's just
And you, when you compare, like when you do look at the titles, how did the titles work? What did they do to elevate those titles? Well, one, look at how they treated those titles. Some of those titles, if the world champ is not going to be there, then your intercontinental champion is going to close the show, right? Because you're building him. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, right? These are guys who went on to become world champions. The ones that didn't,
bro.
Mr.
If you
Perfect.
told Hulk Hogan he had to open a pay-per-view, he would have gotten his car and left.
Yeah, facts. Facts. That wasn't
He
gonna
would have
happen.
he would have quit. Like, there's no way Hulk Hogan would have ever opened a pay-per-view.
Facts. And Kevin, I get it will never be like it, but there's certain jewels you'll take. Just think about this. Vince McMahon brought everyone into wrestling all the way into the new era until like a year ago. Vince McMahon, not anyone else. Vince McMahon. It was Vince McMahon style, Vince McMahon guys, Vince McMahon picks, Vince McMahon the way that he did business. And this is the same guy who did it through the 90s, the 80s, and the 70s. So why do you compare? Well, the same guy brought it through. He had a way of doing business, and that's just the way it is. Even the
You ever
writers,
had
a lot
you
of those,
ever had something like let's say a snack, right? You've had a snack. Let's call it a. I don't want to say no name. Let's call it a HP chocolate bar. You ain't had one in years, right? That's not super
HP
pause.
chocolate.
But then the same company, Archie Carter Enterprises make this candy bar. We've made this candy bar for years. But you try it 2 years later, you notice when we change the formula, it don't taste the same. It's the same company, but it don't taste the same. You enjoy it, but it just don't taste how it used to taste. Back in the day, they used to put real Coke in Coca-Cola. That's why it's called Coca-Cola.
Hey,
But
check this out. You know why you got to compare? Because the mastermind, all his picks are still the guys. Like
here's my
Roman Reigns, the
question.
Vince McMahon
Since we're
guy.
talking about comparing, right?
Mhm.
Have we seen the will there ever be outside of Roman Reigns who had this crazy title run? Are all like the moments, have they all happened already?
Like the best moments in wrestling. No,
No? Okay. So it's hope for the future, baby.
and I'll say why, and I'll show you why. And this goes to Curvin Abreu's comments too. When I was a little kid, the first time they did babyface versus babyface WrestleMania was Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. It was unbelievable. Ultimate Warrior was super peak, and he was the IC champ. Hogan super peak, and he was the world champ. Right. Then fast forward down the road. You know what I mean? That was WrestleMania 6. You double that, you get WrestleMania 12. You had two faces again. Bret Hart, the technical wrestler, versus Shawn Michaels, the catch as catch can guy. Fast forward down the road again, 6 more years. You get the WrestleMania 18. You get like The Rock and Stone Cold. You know what I mean? It's like holy shit, right? Let's even go further down the road. Daniel Bryan winning at WrestleMania 30.
I was there.
Yes, yes,
I was there.
yes, yes.
I
Like
still have my
as long as
newspaper and
they,
my confetti that fell from the ceiling from that night.
and then let's go for 11 years, 10 years from that. Cody Rhodes finishes the story, and it's a huge fucking moment. And that is a 30 something year gap with plenty of moments in between. We're about to go to Netflix where 80% of the planet has access to. New fans who are going to grow up on this are going to grow older, think this is the old. So 20 years down the road, because today a 10-year-old is going to watch WrestleMania 41 and go, holy shit, right? And then they're going to come back years later and be like, they've done it again. They've done it again. So the cycle continues. And that's what wrestling does. It gets your heart in it, get you arguing. You remember the people. Then wrestling always brings back the old guys. Shawn Michaels is running, this and that. So now your heart goes back to like how I said, Mr. Perfects and Ravishing Ricks. We talked about that. And that's what gets it talking. The
So the real
numbers speak
question is, how could you not compare when the moments still make you feel
so
things?
big.
It makes you feel things.
It makes you feel things. Where were you when Andre slammed?
Bro, I remember the exact moment and spot I was in when I saw Papa Shango and Ultimate Warrior was throwing up and going crazy. I
Yeah,
remember the exact
yeah.
moment when Ricky Steamboat walked out of there with the black eyes because Vader and them beat him down. They didn't think he was gonna make it to the match. Like I remember exactly where I was when some of this stuff happened.
Let me ask you a question, right? Because we can compare moments, and why do you compare the old with the new? Because they repackage it, redo it, and then they give it to you again. You remember Hulk slammed Andre, right? It never been happened, right? Never happened, but it did happen. We know it's happened with other people, but right. But then where were you when Lex slammed Yokozuna on the Intrepid? Which was a bigger moment? You know what I mean? Like, why are we talking about body slams? Like people, it just happens. They
That
do it again. They do it again. So they get us. They got us. You know
and
what I
I
mean?
don't think it's necessarily a comparison. What we do is more of a reference point
It is
because
a reference.
just a reference point because we'll never say XYZ is better than. And when we do, it's on our show Double Up. If you haven't checked out Double Up, please check out Double Up, where we take a wrestler and we compare like who was better, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, right? We take a minute, argue pros and cons, and then we decide. So we do that, but as far as here, we just do reference points. It may sound like comparison because when it comes out of our mouths, it's just a bunch of wrestling knowledge, and we just talking. So, but yeah,
I think that's seen as the GOAT for this generation and don't know the days of Austin Rock, Hogan, Bret, and Macho. That sucks, Miss Awesome Saucy. That sucks. Because that's
well,
such a golden age. Going into the new school, going into the attitude era. That that that
you know who had a. I just say I wouldn't want to compare it, but I think John Cena might have almost been the Cody Rhodes of his era.
yeah. I don't know why people are so high on him.
Who Cena?
I do. I do.
No, I
I
mean
do.
as in
But
the aspect
I
of
do.
he
I do
had
know
a
why.
he had a lot to figure out and carry till he became what he became. That's a tough spot to be in. Cody's just in a tough spot.
But you know what? Cena,
I say this every show. That step up to Roman Reigns is a big step. I don't know who would have beat Roman Reigns and if they might have not still had the same problems.
the person who should have beat Roman Reigns to me will always be Seth Rollins. It should have always been Seth Rollins. Had his name on it. Because that shield is just never gonna die. People think that's one of the greatest like tag team groups of all time, and because of that, you gotta capitalize. You ain't give us a WrestleMania match between these two yet. Learn from your past mistakes. You didn't give us Flair Hogan. You didn't give us Orton and Cena. Give us
You can
Rollins
give us Austin
fucking
Hogan.
Reigns. You missed Austin Hogan. That was a big. They gave us The Rock Hogan. People were pretty satisfied, but the real attraction should have been
They
me
gave us
kicking your.
Rock Hogan, which is probably their both best match of their careers. That
We
match.
don't have a lot of classic matches. This is why The Rock stock gets lowered. It's his mic work. When you see highlights of The Rock, what do you usually see? Either a people's elbow, maybe usually that where he slides on
Or
the British
him beating
Bulldog
the
with the
shit out
first
of
two.
Mankind with that chair. That was
Oh
some
yeah,
of
you definitely will see
the
that.
most vicious chair
Yeah,
shots I've.
he don't have a lot of great matches. John Cena, he as much as I don't really fuck with John Cena. He actually has some good matches, really good. He can, but he also was at a time where he was the face, where he had a lot of guys holding his head up. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but you were in there with Randy Orton. You came on the heels of Shawn Michaels and his returns. Triple H was still around. Edge was coming and go. So you know what I'm
Hey,
saying? He was the face of that, but
he had a lot of work to do.
Batista, Undertaker, like
Just being in the ring with those guys, you had to hold your own. Cena,
Rey Mysterio. Yeah, he. I mean, he did. and John Cena did. Kurt Angle, John
Jericho,
Cena did.
Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, like, and he was the
Like John
one that
Cena,
rose to the top of all that.
I think, and I see why people say it's John Cena. I'm not going
That
to
could have
argue,
went
but
really bad though, because early John Cena, Doctor Thugonomics, Word Life Cena was that could have went
I
either
hated
way.
it. I hated it. But at the time, he did it worked. He was just something different. He was something different. He came at a time doing something different. And again, a little bit of a throwback to them 80s, 90s guys, believing in that character. When he came out rapping his promo, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, we're right. Basic Thugonomics. The fucking motherfuckers put an album out for the guy. He's got a
And I
Word Life
listened to
album
it.
that I think's
I've listened to
gold.
that album.
You know what I'm saying? They put the
I
work
actually
in for
did
the
an album review on that album.
they put the work in. So I ain't mad. I always think John Cena's he's not my cup of tea. I'll say that. Let me just be fair and honest. But and at the same time, give him his flowers. He had a lot to carry.
I like
Wrestling was in a recession. He's the Shawn Michaels of that time because when Shawn Michaels and Diesel won them championships, wrestling was in a recession. So people give him a lot of shit, but it's
some
like,
people just
damn,
have some people's timing, and and that's what makes you champions. Like, who can carry the ball? Who can we give the ball to carry this thing? And Cena
Cena can
carried it.
carry. He delivered. And through the recession and back to like the peak up, he kind of took him. So I when they say he's the GOAT, I'm like, yo, chill the fuck out. You ain't been watching wrestling that long. But
I don't. We
if
gotta
you
put a clear cut
if you put him
definition
on
on.
your Rushmore, I'm not gonna argue you now. But if you say he's the GOAT,
I don't have the
you ain't
GOAT
been watching wrestling
discussion.
that long.
Everybody GOAT is different.
Yeah, but it's like sometimes you gotta stop people. Like we just can't let everybody be delusional. Everyone can't just like imagine the guy coming up to you saying AIDS is good. AIDS is
Who
good.
who? Oh,
You'd be
that's
like, "What?"
wild. Who you have
Exactly. You'd be like,
higher?
"Yo,
Who
shut
do
the
you
fuck
have
up. You
higher?
crazy."
Randy Orton or John Cena?
In my personal book,
Your personal book.
in my personal book, Randy Orton. In the grand scheme of things of making a Rushmore, John Cena was the face.
I don't know why
So,
Randy Orton is always my reference point.
because Randy Orton is one of the most comparable guys. He can go in any era. He did a lot of things, and he didn't take long sabbaticals. He
No,
was constant. He was constant. So he doesn't get, and he's a 14-time champion all in
Edge
WWE.
was too. He don't have as many title reigns, but Edge was too. Edge is very
Edge doesn't have the look to me. Edge was good though. I
and
liked him, but
Jericho.
Jericho's another one gets slept on. Jericho, and this is a comment and a diss at the same time. He is the great value version of Shawn Michaels. He is Kobe
What?
Bryant to Michael Jordan. He is. It's just literal. He is. He can do everything Shawn could do, but not better. But then when you take Shawn out the picture, like when Jericho first came to Raw, but when then you started matching with Shawn Michaels and Shawn came back, you start to see it. But
See,
when Shawn's away,
I know Lionheart. I'm talking New Japan before WCW Jericho. Luchador, all that stuff. So I
all
got a
that
different
luchador
view on it.
shit, man, it's dope. But you're not ever gonna rank a luchador in your top five.
Rey Mysterio's in somebody's top five.
I mean, true, and he's a luchador, so okay,
Eddie,
I'll go with that.
Was
He ain't in my
almost
top
Eddie
five,
was damn
but if
near a
someone could put him up
luchador.
there, and I could who?
Eddie,
Eddie left that luchador stage so long
I'm
ago.
just saying, he still had he was more of a
He
striker.
started there.
He was more of a striker, but
He's
he definitely had the lucha style.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take that. I rescind my comment. Orton is great, but his draw wasn't like Cena's. You might be right, Franklin.
Yeah,
That's why I like to say mine. I
yeah,
like the
I
Randy
agree with
Orton
that.
mic work.
I actually agree with that. I love Randy Orton, but yeah, Cena's gonna.
His draw wasn't like Cena's. He might be correct. I mean, you got me. Personal preference though, I like Orton over Cena. I like the Legend Killer. I thought he had more. But again, this is me. When you say, okay, well, overall, who do you put on your Rushmore, Cena or
That
Orton?
should be
After I
John
just told you
Cena's
Randy,
last match. Randy Orton.
you said what happened?
That should be John Cena's last match.
I 100%. I'm gonna disagree with you.
Who you got?
I wanted it done at WrestleMania, which John we know is gonna go through the rest of the year. But I gotta get Orton and John at WrestleMania.
That's what I'm saying.
And
The
if I can
last
put a
match
title on it,
should be John. Well, you saying that's not gonna be the last match.
yeah,
That'd be his
because he's
last
going all the way
WrestleMania.
through.
His last WrestleMania would be.
Oh yeah, definitely. Please book it. Let John win the Elimination Chamber. Go on to take on either Gunther, whoever's that belt. Randy
You
Orton
want
either has
John
to
to
take that belt.
tie Flair.
No, they're both tied now.
Or you want him to
He
beat
needs to.
Flair?
Yeah, you know how I feel about that shit. Shut these motherfuckers up. You don't count Dusty Rhodes. No one can tell me how many times world
John
champions. Someone
Cena
in the chat.
versus Ric Flair versus Randy Orton for the title. Ric Flair got to be in that building.
Yes, yes, yes. You got
And
to
if
make this.
and
You
when
got to give it.
Randy wins, I want Flair to hand him that. I want Cena wins. No, Randy, whoever wins, I want Flair to hand him the title, man. That'll
Take
be
it right from the ref. Hop that barricade. Like, what is Flair doing? Take it from there. If
yeah.
anyone is gonna give you a title because you've
Let it
done
be
what you know what I
Rick.
mean, it'd be
Let it be
Rick.
Rick.
And you'll never hear me mention that 16 times
And
shit
Flair
again.
kind of
I'll
looking
give
at it
Rick his
like
flowers all
he
day.
just looking at that title like looking
Yes.
at. Then he just hand it to him, and he give me one more strut, bounce off the rope, Rick.
Yo, John, do the strut with him with Orton in the ring because Orton still has some time left. Apparently.
And then
Orton could.
Flair and Orton was in Evolution,
Yes, sir.
so
Yes, sir. And then stomp John ass out.
yeah,
No, no,
and
no, no.
Triple H and Batista, they could do it Evolution in ring celebration.
Nah, too much.
No,
Too
not
much.
celebration, just everybody there. Remember when they hoisted Randy up and did all that? Do it again.
Yo, Vinny, it's not that I'm shitting on Flair. It's that everyone else gets shitted on by giving Flair his flowers because they don't acknowledge the guys who got world titles. Like Dusty has died, and they don't say, well, he was an 8-time world champion. They just don't say it. They won't. And you think about who did Flair beat for some of those titles? Dusty. So why don't we acknowledge Dusty's world championships? We don't. We just don't care. And it just fucking mind boggles me. And it aggravates me because Flair only has 2 WWE championship wins. So if you say, well, Dusty didn't get all his wins in WWE, the fuck shit, Nick, what? Neither did Flair. Flair barely got any. So yeah, yeah. I'm
I
I'm
think Ric
always
Flair
going for
might have cut HP off
un-
in traffic and gave him a finger
unless
or something.
unless hey, once I crack that 500, once I crack that 599.99, I get to quote that Ric Flair shit. I done spent more money on spilt liquor.
Bill Licker. That documentary, that 30 for 30 was excellent on Ric Flair, too. If you never seen it, check it
And
out.
Ric Flair's a hell of a guy. You can put him on your round Mount Rushmore. I think I got him on mine, but at the
I'm a
same time,
Charlotte
I just
boy, so, I'm from Flair country.
I'd have Gunther and Orton feud next year. Have the title go back to back title change to get Orton to tie. Yes, yes. I'm a Franklin. I said this on a previous podcast. I need Orton to get to 16. So when him and John go for it, let it be like a ladder match or something. So we don't even know. There's no championship going in. They both have 16. They're both going for number 17. Or a match where Flair is the ref. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Ric Flair got
In the building. He
huh?
got Rock in the building.
So,
Rock, let us know what you thought of
there you go.
SmackDown tonight.
Hey, you can go
If
to
y'all
this.
don't know,
IG Rock be wildin', man. Shout out to Tay Roc. GOAT.
yeah, definitely,
But
definitely
yeah, man.
was.
We
Definitely was. He did the bloodline joint. You know what's funny about that? I was not impressed with. I was impressed with Solo's mic skills. Now he's coming along. Like
bro, he's
now,
growing. He's growing on me.
he's
I'm telling you. He's
every
a
week it's
solo,
better
the
and better.
solo TC. I'm telling you.
The
Solo
new
TC.
bloodline, not trying my boy. Yo, we might have to pull Rock up, man. Rock, you free? Let me know if you free in the chat, Rock. We get you in here, bro.
Solo
We got
TC.
plenty to talk about. Solo is evolving, and it's at a good time because now you're going to the Royal Rumble. You're going to well, it'll
Saturday Night
be
Main Event.
Elimination Chamber, which is gonna be crazy, and then you have WrestleMania. This is all post Saturday Night Main Event, and where the hell is the Bloodline gonna be? Because your man's got a torn bicep. He ain't coming back
Jimmy
no time. Yeah.
Jimmy just came back from injury
No,
too.
no, not Jimmy. Jimmy on his frog splash off the top, his toe hit first and broke. Um Tamaloa, that the CM Punk, man. CM Punk done hurt another person with that goddamn toolbox, bro.
Oh, it was a toolbox.
The toolbox ripped his shit.
Yeah, Bronson Reed's
And
out for like half a year. He got to have surgery.
yeah, yeah. Jimmy broke his toe. Bronson rebroke. Yeah, Bronson broke his ankle. Oh my god.
That's a tough injury for a big man.
And he was just picking up steam. I hope when he come back, he beat the brakes. Like he goes straight for that bloodline. Because him and Jacob Fatu as a squad,
What bloodline though? Because he could go either way. He could say,
OG bloodline. Take out the Usos.
you know what I'm saying? But he could go after Jacob. They could turn him face, and he'd be like, "Yo, I got hurt helping y'all out. My blood is on y'all hands. Because if I never was,
Games match took half the people out. Facts.
it was war games and some casualties. But
Yeah. I think it's crazy you say that. Hold on, we about to shoot an invite out. Let's see if it works. I think that Bronson Reed's injury is the worst.
yeah,
Because his momentum at that time, he was 1-1 with Seth Rollins, so they could always revisit it for another match. He was just getting hot. He was just getting hot. He was. Then you got Jay Uso hurt. No, Jimmy Uso hurt. Jimmy just came back.
from a knee injury, huh? Well, we don't know what was going on with Jimmy. We just know Rikishi told us to pray for him. Rikishi like, pray for my boy. So I don't know, but yeah, it was a lot of casualties came from that match.
Yeah, I think that's a very wild situation, and I don't know how WWE. It's a horrible time to get hurt. He jumped off the top of the cage for the length of the game.
Hey,
Yo, Miss Awesome Saucy talking spicy.
how do you feel
Mm.
knowing you going up to the top of that cage for that spot? Like, how in your mind, what are you thinking?
I'm scared. Cause one, them shits is high, bro.
Bro,
But you
say
got your
what you want
adrenaline
about
pumping.
wrestling. You can say it's real, you can say it's fake, you can say it's choreographed, you can say it's predetermined. A fall is a fall.
They're the toughest people on the planet, bro. A lot of times they be
You know, I've
still
worked with a
wrestling.
wrestling company. A wrestling ring is steel and wood. I put up rings, I tear down rings. It's no give in the wrestling ring. It's steel and wood. So jumping from the top of there, bro, he was on a roll. He was cooking. He was cooking. He was having a hell of a year.
Yeah. That shit is bad. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we got one in the building. We got one in the building.
Which one was?
Oh,
What's up,
What's
gang?
good? What's good,
hey,
my guy? What's good?
What's the vibes, Brody?
hey, you know, we just
Man,
talking smack down.
Man, that shit was a movie for real. You know, I've seen what I could tonight. I definitely tapped in.
yo, definitely, definitely. We appreciate it.
I seen my nigga Chad Gable pull up on Cody thinking he was tough. My man
Let me
called him
ask you a
Shorty
question.
G.
That
He
So let me ask you a
embarrassed
question with
Chad,
that.
bro. Shorty G.
We are we gonna get a rivalry with that, or is that just a one and done?
I think that was just a one and done. You know, I think that was just a one and done for KO. I like how KO pulled up on Cody at the end. That shit was spooky. Had Cody like,
Okay,
no, like that shit
stomped
was
his
crazy.
ankle out.
He
Wow,
needed
shoe
it.
off and shit. KO caught him lacking. That's like catching a nigga sitting on the toilet. Like, what the fuck? Like, he just caught him lacking, bro.
Let me ask
Oh,
you this. Let me ask this then.
What's good?
So KO got a problem with Roman and anyone who sides Roman, specifically Cody. Drew
Hold up,
McIntyre
yeah.
came back.
Hold on, bro.
Hmm.
yeah. Rock, man. Busy man pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rock.
Shout out to Rock. Vinny, we see you in the chat. Yeah, we got Tay Roc in the building. Make sure you like, you share, you know what I'm saying? Like, share, and subscribe.
AKA Brother Abigail. You ain't see him
I'm
on the
back,
No
gang. I'm
Mercy
back.
page.
My fault.
Go
My
check it
fault.
out.
Please go see that.
Yeah,
It's
but
out.
I'm back, gang. What's the you got that charger in here, bro? No, which one?
It
The
is
one.
out. But oh, and Franklin getting ahead of me. I see where Franklin going with that. So
Set the crib and charging all that.
that's my thing. KO got a problem with people who team with Roman. Cody did him dirty. Drew McIntyre went right after the Usos and then went after Sami Zayn on Raw. And you know Seth Rollins, he was like, "No, I'm not teaming with him. I'm not doing it." Are we gonna get a super group with them three or no? Or what we doing?
Mm. Are you talking about as far as Drew and Seth?
Drew, Seth, and KO.
That would be demonic. I ain't gonna lie. Like I actually was just thinking like Drew and Seth might team up because they're hate. Like this is what's crazy. Like I'm kind of confused on this whole storyline. It could go either way. It's either I feel like Seth and Drew are gonna link up because of their hate for Roman and what's going on, and or Roman is going to turn on CM Punk, and Seth and Roman are going to relink for their hate for CM Punk. Because I feel like the wise man is going to really turn on Roman for real. I feel like
Yeah.
he's really.
Yeah.
I feel
Paul
like
up to
he's going to
something.
really be like all the way CM Punk soon, and Roman is going to have like a certain hate for CM Punk, like Seth does, and that's what's going to bring him and Seth together. I feel like. But I
Damn.
could be all the way wrong. You get what I'm saying? This is just me thinking. Like,
They got they could go so many ways with it, honestly. Like I don't
hell
think
yeah,
nobody
bro.
can really call it right now.
The story is just great right now. I ain't gonna lie. I like CM Punk and Roman on the same team though. I'm vibing
I
with that
didn't.
though right now.
I
Yeah,
didn't know
but
how
I
much
could
I
see
needed that rivalry.
Seth and Drew teaming up because they both got issues with Punk too.
I
So
like that too. Seth and Drew McIntyre. Oh my god, bro. Like that's like yin
Yeah, you
and
just
yang.
tapped into
Like
something.
Like Seth kick ass, Drew kick ass, but Seth is like a super happy type character, and Drew is like a dark character. So like, yeah, that shit'll be crazy.
So so you think we could get a Drew Seth versus Punk versus Roman, the Paul Heyman guys?
That
that'll
shit would
cook.
be insane,
That'll
bro.
cook.
That shit would
Because
be
the hate is
insane.
there. And Drew just came back. He took out Jey Uso. They didn't say that, but all of a sudden Drew came back early and he started leveling out bloodline members.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like once that happened to Drew, like in my mind, I'm like, yo, who the fuck could have did it? At first, I was like, oh shit, Sammy did it. No, CM Punk did it. Like I'm like, oh, I was just confused. But when I seen Drew at the end, it wasn't a second doubt in my mind who
Yeah,
did it. I'm like, Drew did that
yeah,
shit. Like,
and that's crazy. I heard they was bringing him back only because all these injuries. He wasn't supposed to come back, but they's like, yo,
Yeah,
Bronson
but
got
then
hurt. We didn't.
more injuries. That's the crazy shit. You brung back cause injury now at the war games. There's more injuries.
more injuries, bro. I
You're
know
not injured.
Bronson, yo. I know he wished he never got involved in this bloodline shit, bro. His first match, he breaks his ankle, bro. This is crazy. I know he's like, yo, this family is rough, bro. Like, how the fuck I get into one fight with this whole family and break my ankle?
Shattered his shit. That shit was like you saw it. That's good.
Yeah, yeah, he should have minded his business. I ain't gonna lie.
I think it's good for him to be there because every time him and Jacob be in a
Not
little
getting
spot
hurt though,
together,
bro. Like that
Yeah, yeah, not
injury.
getting hurt.
thank
That's crazy.
you,
Nah,
thank
it's definitely good for him to be there though. Like Bronson is a problem with them, bro. Like
you. And he looked good with him. He
for
He
looked
fit.
sure,
the
He
part.
fit.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro. He
yo,
fits
he
with them more than Tongaloa. I don't care.
He hurt too.
he done botched in the
He hurt
That's
too.
what I was saying, bro. I'm like, yeah, CM Punk took out the right motherfucker, bro.
oh man. And then you got Jay Uso hurt. No, Jimmy Uso. I'm sorry,
Jimmy,
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Yeah, damn, that's crazy, bro.
That's gonna hurt bad. That's gonna hurt bad.
Yeah,
What you think about
man.
these women's titles? The new ones coming.
I love the Intercontinental title for the women. That is insane, bro. The US title, that shit is crazy. But the Intercontinental, that's like long overdue right there. Like that's long
Mhm.
overdue. I ain't gonna lie. The women's Intercontinental belt is going that the whole tournament setup for them is gonna be crazy. But what I wanted to get into y'all about is this Jade Cargill situation, bro.
Bruh. I, Rocky, my man, but you about to piss me off, man.
Who did it, bro?
Rock,
Who did this to our
man,
Jade,
man, get
bro?
Rock up out of here. I was having a good night. You gonna bring this up?
I love
Nah,
it.
Naomi and Bianca brought it up tonight, so I had to ask y'all, bro. Like,
I have
I'm blaming, I'm blaming Naomi, bro. She's acting too innocent. She's leaving her name off the list, like she's not a fucking suspect, and I don't like it. I don't like it. You're not innocent, Naomi. I'm looking at you like you're a criminal. You did something to our Jade, and we want justice for this, bro. This is insane.
justice for Jade. Hashtag
Justice for Jade Cargill, bro. This
justice
is
for Jade.
crazy. We can't do this, bro.
Justice for Jade is wild. Yo, y'all gotta hashtag
We
that.
got
Get that out
hashtag
there,
free
Jay.
the
Justice for
wave and
Jade,
hashtag
bro.
free the Jade.
For real, this is crazy. Who did this to our Jade is, and it's gonna be heartbreaking when we find out. Like,
My
I
thing
don't think
is,
it's gonna
what
be
can
like it ain't gonna be nobody we are expecting. Like, it's gonna be like, damn, why you do it? Like, you remember when we found out Rakishi hit Stone Cold with the car? Like,
did it for the Rock?
why,
I,
Rakishi? Why? Yo, you was too cool, bro. Like, why you do that?
I think the
It's
only
going
person that really like shock me but wouldn't would be like Charlotte Flair, and that'd be her return.
that would be shocking, bro. Like,
But
damn, why you come and take
mm,
Jade out like that, bro?
like it would, but it wouldn't. But it'd be a good place to bring her back in. Other than that,
remember
it's
they,
just
they
like
did that
Clue.
face off.
It'd be
They did
crazy
the
if it was
face off with them
somebody
two.
like Ronda Rousey or something. Like, yo, or
Now that'd
Oscar. Like,
be
yo, what are you doing, Oscar? Like,
Oscar would be good because we ain't seen Oscar in a
we
minute.
haven't seen Oscar in
yeah,
so
but
long,
but
bro.
Oscar wouldn't hit her with a car.
Nah,
Like
not with a car, bro.
somebody drove, somebody hit her with the Cadillac. It's a
Like,
vehicle.
yo, and it's like I
The
can't picture
Cadillac?
Naomi doing that, but it's like I'm
Time out.
blaming her right now. Like,
If it's a Cadillac, you know the options just went down. Like it's only two people to driving a Cadillac. That's beyond Naomi, bro. Maybe Jada Parker, but
Yeah,
that's it.
I think Oscar would have just attacked her, even Charlotte. But the car
and
thing, that's
and the
different.
even darker situation about that is if Bianca did that to her before coming out to her match. Like, what the
Yes,
like people just found her there, but Bianca was already in the ring. Like, but nobody seen what
yes.
happened. Like,
It's
oh
I
my
probably
hate to
gonna be
God.
say this.
something where they start showing us some like video footage or some shit. Like this is
It's
the
I
gonna
hate to
happen.
say this. Every time a car gets involved, like remember when Triple H did Sean dirty, but we ain't know who did it, and Triple H was like, "I'm gonna find out who did this. I'm gonna find out," and then he laughed like it was me. It's
Yeah.
always the person that like is supposed to be the
I think
support. It
Bianca's
always
too
is.
obvious. Bianca's too obvious.
See,
But you
I
go into
feel
Mania
see,
season.
but just like when Rakishi hit Stone Cold with the car, and we always like, why? It was always Triple H behind it. Like at the end of the day, so I feel like it's gonna be something like that. Like it's gonna be like, yo, why you even do this to Jade? But whole time it's somebody behind it. Like, oh
Yeah.
damn.
Naomi did it. but she did it for Bianca because
something like that, something crazy, like,
yeah,
oh shit, like,
we
yeah,
been
this
wanted
this
you out the
new girl
picture.
thought
This
she
was
was
the
gonna
thing
come
though.
in and
What they do with the tag titles? Because they still champs.
right.
Mm.
Do they vacate them?
Because I read Jay might be out for like a year.
Sheesh.
She put out a workout video. She ain't gonna be out for a year.
Yeah,
She out
but
for a
we
year.
don't know what's going on within that year. That's what I just read. I don't know. I don't know that how much true it is, but something going on with
Damn
her.
year. I ain't gonna stunt. When I seen what Liv and them did to mommy with the bat, I ain't expect to see her as fast as I seen her again. So we might see Jade faster than
Well, you
a
know,
year.
Royal Rumble plus WrestleMania season.
Yeah,
She
I
ain't
don't
gonna
think
miss
Jade
that.
is missing out on WrestleMania. She
No.
might have a big match for
Ooh,
that.
I wouldn't.
Especially, she might have a big match for that. I definitely want to see Bianca and Rhea, like after their little like face to face
Yes.
during Bianca trying to find out who did that. Like they had a little moment right there backstage. I want to see something like that.
Here, let me see what them questions at. Rock, we got a couple questions for you because I
What's up,
asked these
man?
to Archie Carter, so I'm gonna ask you. You know what I'm saying? 2024. You know what I'm saying? The year's almost over. You know what I'm saying? Who is your MVP? It can be male and female all in one category, but who is your MVP for 2024? And you can name 5 people.
Mm.
I have to name five.
You don't have to, but like I was giving like me and Archie was like, yo, who your top
All right, no.
5 for?
So male or female though.
Yeah, we're just talking about end
Yeah.
of the year
All
shit.
right, shit. Right
You know.
now, female, my MVP, Io Sky, definitely female wise. I love Io Sky. I like what she did this year. I like what she's still doing. She rough.
Mm,
She don't get injured like that. She's always around putting in that work. Uh, who else, bro?
mm,
I'm glad Nakamura is back, but he's been gone. You get what I'm saying?
yes.
Solo, definitely one of my MVPs. Like as far as evolution, like his whole character has just changed. He went from the quiet enforcer to now I'm just popping shit, and I got this squad that nobody can fuck with. Like I love what Solo is doing. Jacob, as far as wrestling talent, bro, he jump off that top rope and don't think twice, bro. He's a demon. Jacob is one of them. Um,
Yeah, for real.
Gunther,
Gunther.
Gunther,
Okay.
uh,
You have 4.
female.
You have 4. You got Io Sky, Solo, Jacob, and Gunther.
Yeah,
That's a
I'm
tough
trying to think
four.
of another female. I really like Tiffy too.
Oh, okay.
Tiffy, she another MVP for me. Tiffy time. So I'll say EO, Tiffy, Solo, Jacob, and Gunther. That's my
Mm.
2024 MVPs as
I'm gonna,
far as
I'm gonna
Cad Bench
add one to the
evolution.
list. The real MVP of 2024 in and out of the ring is Tay Roc.
My guy, you know the
And
You
vibes.
Tay
I
had
Roc,
appreciate
hey,
it, bro.
champion
you
of the
had a hell
year.
of a year, my boy. Like
Yes, sir.
hell of a
We
year.
try and keep we
Yes,
try
sir.
we try and continue that this weekend. I'm out here in Detroit right now.
Oh yeah? Okay,
Yeah,
appreciate
I got a
Hey,
battle with Marv one this Sunday.
Marv won. So
mm.
yeah, you a busy bruh. Like, bruh. If y'all
Hey,
haven't seen it, and then
Cave
yo,
Gang
he
ain't just
even
a saying, my boy don't sleep. He up.
Yeah, we
if you
outside,
haven't
bro.
seen it, him versus Chess, I'm not gonna put out nothing. All I
Oh
know
yeah,
is hey,
yeah. Me
that was
take brother
bar.
Abigail versus Tribal Chess. Go check that out. Get money and
No,
drink water.
nasty. When we was in the building for it, golly, once in a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
was
that's a movie.
it was a movie. That definitely was a movie. But you
That's
Well,
definitely
shit,
been
fire.
bro.
holding
We
it
ain't gonna
down.
hold you too long, bro. We appreciate you tapping in, man. We're gonna definitely check out the battle. Anything else you want the people to know or check out while we got
Hey
you?
Mm,
man, no, it's all love. I appreciate y'all pulling me up. You already know. Hey, if y'all tapped in, subscribe, follow me on YouTube. Tay Roc No Entourage. I just had a whole event. It just went down, waging war. And
mm.
the card is already out. I just dropped the highlight trailer. The battles will be dropping the next week for real. So I
Oh, for
appreciate
sure. I
y'all.
definitely get on that, share it, retweet it, plug everybody. You
Let's
welcome
go.
anytime here, bro. You know that.
Yeah,
Definitely,
anytime,
definitely.
anytime. As soon as you tap in, we gonna tap you up and get you in and talk
Oh my
wrestling,
God,
talk
no,
battle rap,
no,
and
no,
talk
no
whatever.
Diddy HP, no Diddy HP,
You
no
know.
Diddy
You know.
Yeah,
HP.
Hey,
yeah. I couldn't. Hey man, I'm
hey,
sipping
you
on
was
my
there. You saw him wilding in person,
I tried
right?
to change it, but I couldn't do it. My brain was buffering. I'm like, man, it's late. I was already yawning. I couldn't spin. I couldn't. I was like, ah, shit. Fuck it. Let it go.
My boy reset like an iPhone over there.
Right. Nah, that's all
But yeah,
love, gang. Hey, I appreciate y'all, bro. Hey, y'all have a good night, bro. I'm gonna just tap in with y'all on Monday. If y'all doing another stream, I'll definitely jump in the stream with y'all.
Oh,
You
for
already know
sure.
the
Yeah,
vibe.
we definitely hit you up. You be safe out there, bro.
yes,
Yo, much
yes,
love, bro.
sir.
All right, Rock.
100.
All right, and then for us,
We
hey,
doing predictions tomorrow. Want to knock them out real quick? What you think, HP?
hey,
I
I'm on
tell
the
y'all
road.
all the time, you gotta hit that subscribe and notification button because you never know when we going live. You never know who gonna pop up.
Yeah, I mean,
You never
um,
know who in the chat. We had Ryback in the chat. Vince Russo, he tapped in. You see, Tay Roc just tapped in
Tay
the middle,
Roc pop up.
getting ready for the battle tomorrow. Attitude Era is,
Hey,
you know, it's
hey,
like that.
unique. How long the memberships pause? Yo, Vinny, we are trying to resolve that as we speak. I can't even give you an answer.
Bro, we be in
Archie can't give
YouTube.
you an answer.
So you know what that means? We just gonna have to give you the content for free. Fuck it.
I'm gonna have to give it to you for free.
Fuck it.
And Vinny,
And we're
we
gonna have to
already
pull
know
you
you're
up.
supposed to tap in with us. So Vinny, when we do our first pull up, you tell us tomorrow we're gonna do the yeah, I guess we can do it tomorrow. See, I'm on the road at 10 a.m.
Well, don't worry about
Fuck.
it. Don't worry about it. We be all right. We either gonna do predictions or the recap. So
Well, I could do this. I could still tap in on the drive. I just don't like to. I like to be in my
I
my
don't
mode.
suggest you do that. I suggest you drive while you driving. And we'll figure it out. But like I said, always hit the notification button so you know when we live and what we
Drive while you
doing. Because guess what, people? Sometimes we don't know. But we figure it out.
drive. Just you drive while you driving.
I suggest you drive while you driving. that's that's the best advice I could give you for this night. But and while you on your drive tomorrow, you can listen to my latest album, Good
Yes,
Karma.
sir. Good
Good
karma.
Karma by The Archie Carter is out on all streaming platforms. The Archie Carter, Good Karma. Check it out. And if you're not doing nothing Sunday, HP got a channel, Hall Priest Universe. We're taking the TV show from and The Walking Dead, and we gonna have
No,
some.
this Sunday gonna be episode 1, season 1.
Yeah. We just
Yeah,
we're putting
we're
that
gonna do
together
episode.
too. So
And guess who's gonna be there? You see that guy right there?
who?
See that guy right there? That guy right there.
Me?
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be Archie Carter making his debut on I almost said the Attitude Era,
Hall Priest
a Hall Priest
Universe.
universe, and we're gonna talk some from shit, and yeah,
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 but the
we gonna
memberships
get into
are
some
on
shit.
pause, so that means y'all about to get blessed with a bunch of content for free. And we're gonna do the pull-ups. Hey, we're gonna pull you up. See how perfect example. Send Tay Roc the link. He popped up, talked for a little bit. We ain't hold him too long. Let him go. That's the beauty of it. But that's Attitude Era Podcast. We try to give you new and live content 7 days a week. We try. Sometimes we don't know what's going on, but we do show up and we get these recaps done. And everything else is on the way. At some time tomorrow, we will be going live either to do predictions or to do the recap. But again, hit that notification button so you know. Instagram, shout out to you. X, Twitter, shout out to you. YouTube, shout out to you. Subscribe, and we will see y'all tomorrow. I am D Archie Carter. That is King HP. That was Tay Roc. I'm saying it now, your champion of the year. And this is Attitude Era
Yeah,
Podcast
talking into existence.
SmackDown recap. We will see y'all tomorrow for Deadline NXT. Bye bye.